Good day to all of you. Welcome to the Garibo Show. This show is about Bitcoin, and today I'll talk about the essentials of Bitcoin and what it actually means. Today we'll have another special guest, Abraham. He's going to ask a few questions pertaining to Bitcoin and what the hype is about and why it's a store of value. This show will be 7 minutes long, and I will squeeze all the information to you within that time so that you can get a very good framework of what Bitcoin actually means, and hopefully at the same time I can educate you and also myself. Before we start the actual learning, please make sure to like and subscribe to this content so you can help more people learn about the fascinating things that Bitcoin and cryptocurrency has for the world. Thank you, Brother Arib, for this great invitation. I would really like to ask you about the volatility of Bitcoin, since Bitcoin has been valued at 3,000 euros in the past in 2013, and then moved on from there to 2016 to be valued at around 10,000 euros, and then it had a large dip, 50-70% correction to again to 3,000 euros.
Jimmy, you lost $20,000 within 3 months. How is that becoming rich?
I didn't lose anything because I haven't sold anything. Diamond hands, baby.
Bitcoin has hit now a 60,000 peak and it's correcting itself. So what is happening, and can we really call an asset with so much volatility like Bitcoin a store of value? That is the real question, Brother Reed. Thank you. Thank you, Brother Abraham, for the questions. Regarding the volatility of Bitcoin, the volatility tends to fluctuate as a new system, a new currency, or a new asset is added to the store of value, is added to the market itself. So what essentially it means, it basically tends to fluctuate and contract when the market capitalization expands. So Bitcoin is monetizing in real time. At its very core, it's competing for a $10 trillion market cap with the fiat currency, with the dollar currency, and with gold as well. So it's very nascent and relative to its total addressable value. I definitely agree that volatility is a natural function of price discovery, and as you mentioned, great points about how the market cap is essentially expanding for Bitcoin, which I totally agree. So you talked about blockchain, you talked about Bitcoin, you talked about cryptocurrency. I'll ask you, Brother Reed, what is Bitcoin? What does it actually represent, and what does it mean? Can you simplify this quite easily for me, please? Now, Bitcoin revolves around Austrian economics, which doesn't involve or support the government intervention into the economy. The Austrian School of Economics was founded in 1871 by a man named Karl Manger. Now, with Austrian economics, it's fundamentally important to understand Bitcoin, right? You asked what Bitcoin was. I will divide it into 5 factors, and these 5 factors will tell you the importance of the store of value, and also even as a currency, if Bitcoin moves into that sort of phenomenon, then how that will work. So these 5 principles are durability, divisibility, portability, scarcity, and recognizability. So by divisibility, I covered it in my last video, Abraham. So what it essentially means is that one Bitcoin, which is valued now at around 40,000 euros, can be divided into 100 million units, right? As I said, it can be divided into 8 decimal points in my previous video. What it means, it's very divisible for the entire population. So if it were to be used as a currency, almost 8 billion people, when we get to that number, everyone will have around 100 or a couple of hundred of Bitcoins available to exchange, and that is fundamental for a currency or for a store of value, for it to be divisible. Now, by durability, this is an interesting one. This is pure information stored in a distributed format. Now, if I take, for example, the Quran or the Bible, something that has been very specifically stored in a particular manner. But Bitcoin is stored in a very interesting manner, and with the whole proof of concept and proof of work, which I will talk about more later, it's very sort of scalable. So it's durable with with the perfect information that it has across the blockchain technology, and which lets us facilitate for decentralized sort of thing, ledgers. The third thing about Bitcoin is recognizability. This is one of the ways of keeping it transparent and the ability to verify the money, right? So the Bitcoin is not fake. And how do you do that? Now you do that on, of course, it's quite correlated to the blockchain technology, and by a term called nodes. And nodes are specific transactions, or in fact, all the transactions that are made between people that is kept very transparent, so everyone has access to them, right? Of course, it's still anonymous and confidential. Fourth thing is portability. Of course, as I mentioned, it has pure information, and the information travels at the speed of light, right? So you're looking at information and transactions being made significantly fast to fiat currency or any other currency. See, one of the key things about Bitcoin is scarcity, and that we come to as the last point. This could be one of the most important things, in fact. And we know that Bitcoin has 21 million Bitcoins that there can be and will be ever mined, right? That is a finite number. That is a constant number. We know that's not going to change. What that essentially means for us and for the people who are using Bitcoin, or who will use Bitcoin, who will invest in Bitcoin as a store of value, is if someone owns 1 million out of 21 million Bitcoin, that ratio to 1 and 21 is going to remain the same. That person is going to own exactly the same amount of Bitcoins. And how does that compare to current fiat currency? Well, if you own 1 million out of 21 million, because of inflation, the government is printing more and more money. So that ratio becomes less and less. So it was initially 1 out of 21 million euros, and now it's 1 out of 25, 30 million. I think that should be a clear example into what and how scarce it is. It's also scarce in the sense of the perfect information concept. All the members involved here have equal information as to what has been going on. So what that means is it makes competition sort of equal for everyone. Information is power, right? So everyone knows what the information is, how it's being used, and so on. So that is why Bitcoin is such a strong and valuable asset to hold. So all these five principles, durability, divisibility, recognizability, portability, and scarcity, Bitcoin has perfected all these 5 things that the world hasn't ever seen before, right? It's not the same case with fiat currency. It's not the same case with gold even, because gold, if we put an army of people to find gold, I'm sure there will be more and more gold that comes up. So you have a certain bit of inflation with gold. So essentially, Bitcoin has perfected the store of value of function. And the key takeaway to remember from all of this, other than the 5 principles that I talked about, is that volatility is a natural function of price discovery, right? So anything that is valued initially, remember that Bitcoin is only 13 years old, and its value is way more than what gold is. And for gold to be used as a value of exchange, as a means of exchange, it took thousands and thousands of years, right? Bitcoin is doing that at a much faster scale. So that is something that we fail to realize. Well, thank you, Brother Arib. I think that gives me a lot of context into what Bitcoin actually means, and with all the 5 principles, keeping into mind the Austrian economics and how it works. Bitcoin is certainly, I can say, at least I know what it is now and how it functions, and I will certainly look into ways of investing it, and of course I will be tuned in to your videos to learn more. Thank you. I hope to educate you and obviously all of my other friends and cousins and everyone who is ready to learn more about Bitcoin in the coming time frame. So please stay tuned for more videos, and hope to see you soon.